I feel like my gender is really complex and it's also very fluid. I remember saying that my gender is a dancer or a moving person. Like, it's really hard to identify within the binary system of man or woman. I'm the founder of Laboratoria, which is a dance theater improvisation project for the queer and trans adults in Russia. Laboratoria stands for two Russian words, tela, which means body, and laboratoria, laboratory. So basically a body laboratory, or place where we get connected to our bodies and connect our bodies to the environment around us. I started dancing when I moved to the US, and I think it was sort of out of despair because my English was so poor at that point. I was undocumented and I was kind of lost. I wasn't sure what I was doing there. I didn't want to go back to Russia because I didn't really have anything to pull me back there. And I was just fascinated by the way people jumped into art making. So I find it's really challenging to find an inclusive dance space in Russia. People don't really, it's not within the culture to talk about inclusivity, to talk about those who are not present in the room. It's quite easy to be genderqueer in English just because the language is not gendered, right? Like, I can go for days without really identifying or having to identify myself as she or he. You know, I can just be they, or whenever I talk about myself, it can be gender neutral. But coming back to Russia, it was kind of a shock after living in the US for so long. Like, I wasn't able to talk about myself as she. And I slowly switched into he completely. And then I realized that I'm not he as well. So it's complicated right now, like, switch back and forth. And of course, in places where I don't feel safe, I would use she, or in places where I kind of pass as a man, I just, pretend to be a young man and use he. I think the project creates a really important space for people to be themselves, to learn what it means to be themselves, to connect with others, sometimes without words, using movement and body. In the project, people learn what it means to have physical contact that maybe is not sexual. People learn that it's when they improvise, they can do anything they want, or they can be anything they want to be. And I think this is really important, specifically for Russian culture, that forces us to, educational system that forces us to perform something correctly. I think the ultimate goal is really big, to bring the culture of body embodiment, create spaces for people to have this access, but also take this experience with them and make something of it. I feel really happy when there are all kinds of people in the room and they can actually have a conversation, they can actually do an activity together, they can support each other.